I'm here with four-time Division I NCAA qualifier, Nick Nemeth. Nick, how's it going today?
It's going all right.
It's going all right? All right, Nick. You're now a certified WWE Superstar. Got the action figure. Talk about the road from West Park, west side of Cleveland, to getting to become a WWE Superstar. So,
let's see. I first started training for collegiate or amateur wrestling when I was 5 years old. One night a week, and on Friday nights. I actually remember when I first got there the first day. I signed up for wrestling, and there was no ring ropes or turnbuckles, so I was kind of disappointed. That's where I started wrestling. I loved it ever since. Wrestled in St. Pat's in West Park, St. Ed's High School, and Kent State College.
Kent State College or Kent State University?
I'll check my credit card. I think it's Kent State University.
Talk about that. Get us through. You started at St. Patrick's.
I started at St. Pat's. That was an intramural thing, one night a week.
Like a CYO type thing?
Yeah, so you get to third or fourth grade. Then you can actually join the regular team, where it was every Sunday you had dual meets, and that was 6 nights a week, I think, something like that, 5 nights a week. Then when I went to St. Ed's.
How did you get to what was the catch line for St. Ed's? Why did you go there?
My parents told me that if I got all A's and B's first semester, I could transfer out and go to Holy Name with all my friends, which is a co-ed Catholic school. So first semester came, got all A's and B's, and they told me it was a big joke and a lie.
So they made you had to stay all boys school, St. Ed's.
Yeah. So, but I couldn't be happier that I did, because their wrestling team kicks ass. So, and I probably wouldn't be here without the training and conditioning I got at St. Ed's.
Okay. Talk about freshman through junior year. Did you ever make the varsity at that point?
St. Ed's?
Yeah.
Wrestled on our green team, which is like a second team varsity. We had like 5 or 6 levels of teams there. Freshman, JV, green, white, and gold, I think.
Gold's the team that wins nationals year in and year out.
Team, yeah. And the green team wrestles a varsity schedule, but usually in Southern Ohio or against different teams. Not really sure.
Okay.
Freshman year, I wrestled on the freshman team and on the JV team. And sophomore through junior year, I think I was 125 on the green team and the JV team. Sometimes I wrestled both. Green team a lot. It's the second team varsity, and then I think the only time I wrestled on goal was one match my junior year, 1 or 2 matches, and then my senior year.
Okay. Senior year, considered one of the greatest teams still in high school history. You had 2-time NCAA champ Ryan Bertine, a couple weights below you. You had current one of the top 155 punters, Gray Maynard, multiple-time All-American Andy Rovat, world team member. Talk about that room and the competition level in there.
That room was that was awesome. I didn't realize how good of a team the way you just said it now.
Mark Jane,
yeah, there was
Mason Leonard, Mark Jane, multiple-time All-American. So you had all those guys on your team. You guys are 1998 national champs. Talk about the competition level.
Competition level was pretty intense in there every day on a normal year. That year was that was awesome, and we just constantly wanted to be. We didn't think best team, I don't know, in 20 years or whatever in our heads, but we wanted to break records, and we wanted to get the most individual state champs and break records points wise. And I think we were a little disappointed because we didn't. We wanted to break the record, which I think was 5, and I think maybe we tied it for state champs or something.
How'd you do in
intense room?
How'd you do individually?
I took 5th. I blew some kind of match in the semis that was like to the eventual champ, which was one of those twin guys. What's his name?
Niccaboni?
Yeah, I lost like 9-7 to him in the semis. It kind of sucked. Actually, I guess that would have been the one that would have broke the record if we would have had all 6. So that kind of blows, but it was a pretty intense team. That was awesome wrestling for them. We never didn't have like an intense day in that room one way or another. There's a lot of awesome guys. You just pointed out. I forgot.
Okay. Compare your college room to your high school room. Workout partner-wise.
Workout partner wise, college. In college, man, I had Mike McIntyre for a couple of years, who ended up not hanging out to finish the full term of wrestling. But it's a lot different in college. Obviously, Ed's was the closest room I've ever been to a college room, and actually sometimes the competition was a little bit more intense at St. Ed's. But that's because that's one of best wrestling teams always. So that's not a big deal. But Kent was fun, but it was also tough, and I like to have fun too. So I didn't drain myself mentally too much, but physically it did, of course.
Okay, talk about how amateur wrestling, compare it to the current wrestling you're doing now with the WWE, and what's the current league you're in now with Florida?
Florida Championship Wrestling, which is the only developmental wrestling company associated with World Wrestling Entertainment. It's somewhat of like a AAA to baseball, I guess.
Okay.
And training there, it's a little bit different. There's a lot of psychology and different things involved. But the physical aspects, we're in Florida, so it's actually about 100 degrees in the room. We have a couple different rings, and it gets intense in there too. Everybody wants to be the next champ or next guy called up. So it gets intense in there, and practices lean towards drills and learning with maybe 1/3 of the time, set to pushing yourself and being ready to go to be able to wrestle maybe a 30 or 60-minute match.
Okay. What would you say, compare this wrestling you're doing now, okay, the performance, entertainment wrestling, compare it to amateur wrestling. What would you say? What would you say is more difficult? Compare a season to 6 months of on the road.
Of course, there's no. Some people might have to cut weight, but I diet pretty good and work out all the time, and I enjoy eating a lot too. But I do miss the cutting the weight. I don't miss cutting weight.
I was gonna say you do miss it.
Way shredded, you get pretty shredded, but I can do that on my own now. I hated cutting weight. And that was the only part that wasn't fun about it. Here, it's hard to get workouts in sometimes if you had a long day at work or something like that. But you just put yourself to do it, and when you do, it pays off, and you look better than everybody else. So,
all right, Nick, thanks for your time, and we will be catching up with you hopefully sometime in the next year if you have a show in the Northeast Ohio region. All right.